Jesus then began to tell a parable. A certain man was journeying from Jerusalem to Jericho when he fell among thieves, who stripped him of his clothes, beat him, and departed, leaving him half dead. By chance, a priest came down that road. When he saw the wounded man, he passed by on the other side. Likewise, a Levite, when he arrived at the place and saw the man, passed by on the other side as well. But then, a Samaritan, despised by many, came along the same road. When he saw the man, he took pity on him. He went to him, bandaged his wounds, pouring on oil and wine. Then he put the man on his own donkey, brought him to an inn, and took care of him. The next day, the Samaritan took out 2 denarii and gave them to the innkeeper, saying, "Look after him, and when I return, I will reimburse you for any extra expense you may have." Jesus then asked the man who had posed the initial question, "Which of these 3 do you think was a neighbor to the man who fell into the hands of the robbers?" The man replied, "The one who showed him mercy." Jesus said to him, "Go and do likewise." The parable of the Good Samaritan teaches us about compassion, mercy, and the true meaning of being a neighbor. It challenges us to love beyond boundaries, to care for those in need regardless of their background or status. The road from Jerusalem to Jericho was notorious for its danger, yet it was precisely on this treacherous path that the Samaritan demonstrated remarkable kindness and generosity. He did not let prejudice or fear dictate his actions, but instead showed love in its purest form. The priest and the Levite, though presumably knowledgeable in the law, failed to fulfill its essence by neglecting the wounded man. They prioritized their own comfort and safety over extending help to someone in distress. But the Samaritan, often considered an outsider by society, exemplified the true spirit of the law through his selfless actions. He saw a fellow human being in need and responded with compassion and practical assistance. Jesus' message in this parable goes beyond mere religious observance. It speaks to the core of what it means to live a life of faith. Loving God and loving our neighbor are inseparable, and true love manifests in concrete acts of kindness and mercy. The challenge laid out by Jesus remains as relevant today as it was in ancient times. In a world marked by division, prejudice, and indifference, we are called to be like the Good Samaritan, reaching out to those who are hurting, marginalized, or in need. May we heed the lesson of this parable and strive to be neighbors who embody love, compassion, and solidarity, crossing boundaries and bridging divides for the sake of building a more just and compassionate world.